Hello everybody and welcome to another one of my videos. We're just going to jump into some admin work here. Again, this is my team F1 2020. If you didn't catch the last episode, we were in Vietnam. It was a tough street race with some dramatic pit stop action. But you'll see this week we are on to China. So a quick peek here at the R&D tree where we're at. We did have our spark plug minor upgrade come in as a failure ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. But we're going to hop straight past all of practice and we'll skip into qualifying. So this is Q1. And Jeff did say that it was going to be a all-dry weekend. I'll just give you a slight little foreshadowing that based on the clouds and the overcast weather, that's definitely not going to be the case in the end. So here we are in Q1. You can see we actually kind of, hooking some aspects up. This is our second run in Q1. And the car is, it's good. It's actually performing really well. Much better than in the street circuits. So I feel like I'm able to extract a lot more out of the machinery around here than I was in Vietnam. Just a reminder, if you if you enjoy the content and you want to subscribe, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Or if you want to see the content happen live, I'm usually I do all this stuff on Twitch at twitch.tv/jagshockey. And so this is kind of just a cut up edited down version. But continuing on with the lap here, desperately trying to get into Q2. We have the pace to be about 15th, and we need 16th to be Q2, so that's what we're really pushing for. And you can see I'm up about 4/10 here, but as I head into the final turn, I have a momentary hesitation and oversteer wide out, and I lose about 3/10 there. So really disappointed. You can see how disappointed I am in the car. Luckily, however, we did make it through. Nobody set a faster time, and we head into Q2, and you can see there's the raindrops, and we're on to the inters. So the first lap is definitely a bit dodgy, kind of testing out. You can see, I think I just edited all the moments together, but here's a big understeer moment at turn 1. Really struggling with the car in these conditions, and you'll see just a couple of big mistakes throughout the lap as well. Here into turn, I forget the number of this one, maybe 7. Another big oversteer moment. So really having trouble just controlling all aspects of the car. And as we come across the line, you're going to see we're about, I believe, a second and a half down on Magnussen. So we definitely want to beat the Haas. They are right above us in the R&D. So at this point, I'm going for P14. But lap number 2, again, getting a bit of understeer out to the edge of the circuit, but reeling it back in. And you'll see the delta kind of yo-yo in and out. So there's down for a second. Now it's up. So just depending on the lines that you take in the wet is really going to, that delta, you need to just focus on your line, focus on the track. And I almost wish they didn't have the delta as part of it. But I guess more information is never bad. It's just something that you need to learn how to kind of handle. These games definitely are a bit of information overload, aren't they? You have everything in the top left, everything in the top right, everything in the bottom right. There's just a lot going on. And then, of course, you have your dash that you need to deal with as well. So it is a good bit. But I go 1.8 seconds quicker on that lap. Just got a lot better exits on the corners and a bit of practice. And we do end up P14 ahead of both the Haas. So right where we kind of, think the car should be. So on now to the track, you can see the couple detection zones and the 2 DRS zones here at the start straight and the back straight. 16 turns here, 16 corners, so plenty of overtaking opportunity. And as we head into the starting grid for the race, Bottas is on pole with Verstappen pairing alongside him. And the big shock here is, where's Lewis, right? Where's Hamilton? Albon up into 5th, Ricardo 9th, and there's Lewis, he's 10th. And we're 11th. So the penalties this race must be insane. This is only the 4th race of the season, and you can already see so many grid spot penalties coming into effect here. So it's really going to play a big role on the race and where we shake up. As we head into the strategy, moving from 14th to 11th does switch us from a 2-stop into a 1-stop. So We have a lot of hope for the race, and definitely excited that it's going to be a good one. The red lights are on, 5, and they're out, and away we go here. Not the quickest start off the line, but I am slightly better than my opponents around me. I squeeze right through, like a knife through butter, I think is what they say. And you'll actually see I just get a bit too close there, and I touch Albon. And that is going to come, you see a warning collision with Albon. You'll see that comes in to play a bit later on, unfortunately. So we do get up into 8th position, though. Really nice start for us here, and it's nice and sunny. Again, no threat of rain here on race day. So deep diving into Stroll here. He just braked way too early. The AI just went on that first lap. They just get into a train, and you can really send it on him. So a nice pass there on Stroll. A little bit heavy on the contact, but other than that, pretty okay. So we're up into P7, which is fantastic after a P11 start, up 4 positions off the start, and I am definitely worried at this point that the pace of the cars in front, because they're so much quicker, especially in the dry, that they're just gonna drive away, and I'm gonna get passed on the back straight with the DRS, because the straight is so long, and we have a lot of improvement to do. But let's watch the start here again on the replay. So I'm in the back behind Hamilton. You'll see me shoot out to the left right in front of him. And so I get past, I think that's Gasly, Hamilton, and Ricardo, all at the start. Puts me into a good position here. Just kind of following these cars. And Gasly and I come out almost wheel to wheel through 2. Racing down into 3 here, but it looks like I'm out of position, but the AI just brakes so early, I'm able to send it, and actually I do get wheel to wheel at some point with Stroll before we make contact there, and that's going to give me position. So back live to the race now, lap 2, still sitting nicely in 7th position. I'm just behind Albon. And you can see at this point I'm working the tires a bit harder than the AI is. That's why I'm able to catch up. They're just taking a more passive, casual, fuel heavy line. I'm definitely taking the aggressive, quicker racing line to try and stay in DRS. So because I was able to do that, I'm able to get right onto the back of Albon here. I'm trying to use, I overfueled slightly, so I'm trying to use that rich fuel mix and that ERS that you get at the start and just stay onto the back, but the dirty air washes me out wide in back-to-back corners there, and then off the end here I just again wash out slightly wide, not able to get onto the line cleanly. So definitely something that I am going to have to work on in future races is recognizing when I get behind a car and how different the car will behave. But basically nothing happens. You see I skip ahead a lap 3. I think we get DRS at the end of this lap, but Hamilton has gotten past all of all the people behind him, and he's hunting me down now. I believe he has ERS or DRS. He's going to shoot down the inside. I'm not going to fight this. I'm not racing Hamilton today. I'm in a slow car that's barely quicker than the Haas. I'm trying to get points. So I let Hamilton go by, and I think I do a pretty good job of it, actually. I'm able to get DRS here and try and stick onto him, but you can see literally lap 5, he is already 2 seconds up the road. And as we skip ahead, we do see Carlos Sainz out of the session. So that's the second race in a row where Sainz has had a mechanical failure. Really, really strange for McLaren. McLaren is going to have to figure out what they're doing. And as we just go further into lap 5, our first big mistake, we get out wide, and Stroll pounces on us for the opportunity. As we get behind him, we use all of our rich fuel, all of our ERS. We slip into the slipstream. But unfortunately, he has the DRS and we don't. And you can see Gasly behind us also sucking up onto us. So we have to go defensive here, down the inside, shooting down, hit our braking mark. And again, Stroll with a terrible brake. We're able to power through the inside. And definitely some heavy contact there, but we make it through. And you'll see here, this is actually when Stroll pits. So he pits on at the end of lap 5. Let's watch the replay here. Just diving down the inside. I really was not planning to overtake Stroll. I thought the position was over, but I was defending against Gasly, and then he just brakes so poorly. So able to keep that position. Skipping ahead to lap 9, um, again, just kind of keeping Gasly comfortably behind us, not making mistakes. When we make mistakes, we get into a lot of trouble. But I don't know if you saw there on screen, Jeff gives us the notification that rain is on the way. So as bright and sunny as it is, it's on the way. And at lap number 11, we have our second big mistake of the race, getting just understeering out wide. These tires starting to go off at lap 11, trying to squeeze them to 14, but we definitely use them a bit much. So at the end of lap 11, Gasly shooting it in on us, and again, this time he brakes better, but we have a lot more momentum there, and we drive a bit deeper, and we cut off his deep line. He wasn't quite able to pin it to the apex and get the over-under on him. So some good racing there, actually, and we are in P7 as we kind of scoop on ahead. This is lap 12 of 28, already almost nearly halfway through the race. And Lando Norris is out of the session with a safety car for the second race in a row. Who could he have possibly binned it into this time? Last time in Vietnam, it was the wall. This time, it ends up being a mechanical failure. But that's twice in a row that both McLarens out of the race. So unfortunate for McLaren in our my season, my team. We'll have to see if they can bring it back later on. But we are going to head into the pits, and because rain was called on the way, we do switch up the call, and you'll see this is where that lap 1 collision comes in. I have a nose change. We were right ahead of Gasly, and as we come out, we get a 6.9 second stop with the nose change. The boys at the factory absolutely crushing it. Absolutely amazing pit stop work from the team there, and we get ahead of Gasly. Here's the safety car replay. You can see it's just a mechanical failure. He just like all of a sudden loses drive. And we passed him, but if you didn't see him, I don't blame you, because neither did I. I didn't even realize that that's where he turned off until until I watched the replay. So here we go now into P8. George Russell out of position in front of us, and all of the other front runners onto hards while we are on softs, expecting the rain to come any moment. So we get a great start here onto Russell, using all of that ERS that we saved under the safety car, all that fuel that we saved under the safety car, shooting up the inside on turn 1, and we get a gain of position there nicely, which is good. We really needed to get past that Williams if we wanted to really have contention at using these softs effectively. So we get onto the back of Albon here, and again, he just brakes way too early, so we hit our braking mark, and he comes flying towards us. I have to dive to the inside in an evasive maneuver, but man, I'm really excited there. That was a great opportunity for Elephant Hill Racing and for the whole team. So awesome. And you can see now, look at the clouds as we hit lap 18. The clouds are really coming in. So P5, we're 2 seconds ahead of Albon. Gasly has gotten around Russell as well. Skip ahead now to lap 21. The tires are definitely starting to go off, and there's rain on the windshield. So you saw that last lap was about 2 seconds slower than my personal best 3 laps ago. So the track is really deteriorating, really losing a lot of grip, really becoming greasy and slippery, and it's going to take a keen eye for the grip out there this afternoon. So 7 laps to go. It's really anybody's race. We'll see what ends up happening. But if we time it just right, we could be on for an amazing podium, or we could totally screw ourselves. So we'll have to see. Skip to the end of lap 22, and Albon has caught our 2 second, but Gasly is still a nice 4 seconds back. But Albon, for some reason in the rain, is just freaking zooming, so he's caught up to us. And now we're really struggling with the grip, really struggling with being attacked by Albon, and we're losing time to everybody in the field now. Hamilton, Vettel, Gasly, all of our, all the people that are kind of near us that we might be able to get points from. So at this point, I think, and we get the call from Jeff there. We're no longer sure that these are the right tires. Albon goes down the inside. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, yes, time to come in. I need to come in. So again, Albon braking early. We just slightly missed the apex there. Maybe he didn't brake early. Maybe we brake late. And we are going to race side by side, but I know that I don't have to hit the braking point for this one because I'm going straight into the pits. And I'm actually the only car that comes in. So really nerve-wracking situation here as we head into the pits. Luckily, no wing change this time. We get the inters on 2.7. Again, What a pit stop, boys. What a pit stop. Huge, huge pit stop from the crew. And we head into lap 24. So we have 5 laps left. Laps left on these inters, and 5 laps of fuel. I tried to use all my ERS and fuel on the softs right as it was drying out. So we did get the fuel down a bit more, but we come out P16. There's a lot of work to do to get back to what were we, 6th place with Albon. He was definitely hunting us down, but we were just going to be sitting ducks there, and it was going to be 5 laps of like really brutal defending and really struggling with the car. And we were on soft tires, so we kind of made the strategy decision early on, and we had committed to this idea early. So you can just see, literally, that's the same car. I'm just driving around the outside. That's my teammate. Just zooming around the outside. Again, at the end of that lap, already caught up to Raikkonen, 3 seconds ahead of our teammate. And just I mean, of course, in a straight line, we're about the same pace. But I'm going to go around the outside. I believe in the grip, and I just brake us half a second later, and we slide into P14. Skipping ahead now, Ocon getting passed by some of these other cars, shooting down the inside of Ocon into P13, and we're flying. We have 3 laps left to go. Later on, lap 26, around the outside of Max Verstappen, who's stuck behind the Haas of Grosjean. We're going to fly in. Grosjean going so slow. We make contact. There's front wing damage. There's only, 2.5 laps to go, though? Front wing damage. Can I make positions back now? I'm up into P11. Again, we started this race we qualified 14th. Started this race 11th. So points was the goal today. Points were on offer for a team that's well below the table. Really exciting opportunity for us. Let's watch those overtakes in the replay. So here on Ocon, pretty standard dive down to the inside. But this double move, I mean, what a move. Verstappen had nothing on us. And the contact there, we were almost wheel to wheel. We just ended up unlucky, but we had to go for it. We have to get these overtakes done. So up into 11th, and we've got Kvyat in front of us going around the outside at turn 1. What a move, just finding the grip with these inters, passing these cars on the hard tire. There's not much rain out there on track. You can see all these cars electing to stay on the hard, but there's enough that these fresh inters are able to make a big difference. And then shooting down the inside on Magnussen, up into P8. We run wide, but our drive is still that much better, even though we're off the track. These slick tires are really struggling. Here's the replay. What a move around the outside. It looks so slow and pedantic there, but it's intense when it's happening in the moment for sure. So P9 is where we're gonna end. Checkered flag comes. Not able to catch up to Perez or Albon or Gasly. They do finish ahead of us, so you can say it might have been the wrong strategy call, but we definitely got a couple overtakes done, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that portion of the content. Danny Kvyat getting driver of the day, surprisingly. And of course, Bottas, he got pole after Hamilton's penalty, and he ends up with a race win here today. P9 position. So I hope you guys, kind of enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think if you want to see, different edits or different versions kind of cut up. But here's the interview.
Sure, you're pretty happy with that. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
It's my team. Maybe they are, but can't get complacent.
Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it?
Danny's good, but they're not really on my level. Should I be, egotistical like that? No, I think, rivalries in the sport bring out the best of both drivers. I could have just dug into them.
How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
It's changed strategies, but the top diver...
It was more like dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it?
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, the only time that I really hit anybody was Grosjean, and I definitely.
All right. Well, that kind of puts the end of it. Here you can see the rivalry. We did beat Danny Kvyat today, so we slightly nudge ahead in terms of our rivalry. And with our teammate, we get quite a bit of acclaim. Our teammate still has more than us, Mick, but our team moves up to level 6. We got, of course, because we did practice, we got both our sponsor goals. So this is what our R&D department now looks like, where we put a bit of extra oomph into, and none of our development areas are negative. They're all in good or normal standing. But with $3.1 million, we decided to make our first purchase, and we're going to go with Aero build time. So my thought is that we're not getting a lot of R&D points right now. So if I get fabrication, I'm not really going to be able to utilize that. But with build time, that can definitely make a big impact. So you'll see we slide in a couple of activities here, and we get to do an interview with Will Buxton. So let's go to the interview.
Welcome to the jungle.
Say an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? Will your team be going for the Constructors' Championship this season, or just for points?
This season, we're still developing as a team, but we're hoping for plenty of points.
Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful?
If they give us good results, their position is safe. Yeah, absolutely. But the results have to be there.
Your team's been picking up.
Welcome to the
points
jungle.
this
Hell
season.
yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future?
Oh, in the future, yeah. It will take. That's our aim. It's going to take time to get there, and you can't build it. Yeah. Oh, we could talk. We could shout out our sponsors. What do we do? Do we shout out the sponsor? No, this like is that.
Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
Absolutely not. There's no team orders here. that's what we say to the camera.
Spend some time with you. Best of luck out on
Let them race.
All right, so that's a pretty interesting interview there with Will. But that's pretty much going to end it for today. You'll see at the very last thing before the video's out, we got everything, all of our upgrades, and there's what the new livery looks like with the new sponsor. So I hope you enjoyed. Remember to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and go check out either Bahrain or Vietnam. Those are also up, and next up is going to be the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. So stay tuned. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Bye.